Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on decimals, part 1. Decimals, like fractions, are parts of whole numbers. The reason they are called decimals is that they are expressed using a decimal point. Example 1. 1 over 10, when expressed in the form of a decimal, is 0.1. And there is the decimal point. These are just facts I want you to remember for the moment, and then I'll tell you how we work it out in a moment. Example 2, 2 over 10 equals 0.2. There is the decimal point. Example 3, 3 over 10 equals 0.3. So there are three facts here I want you to remember, and now we're going to work through a little process which explains how we arrive at these answers here. Whole numbers and decimal points. It is important to understand that a whole number has an invisible decimal point to the extreme right of the number. So example 1, if you have the number 7, there is an invisible decimal point after the number 7. The invisible decimal point. You don't actually see it, but it is there, but we don't have to put it in. For the second example, if you have a number like 23, there is an invisible decimal point there, but we don't need to write it. The only reason I put them there is to show you that yes, they are there, but you don't see them. This is a very important fact which needs to be remembered. From now on, please remember that for any whole number, the decimal point is to the extreme right of that whole number, and it does not have to be shown. More examples of decimals. So continuing on from the first number of examples, 4 over 10 equals 0.4. 5 over 10 equals 0.5. Again, they are simple facts. But I know you want to know, how do I arrive at these answers? Well, here we go. On the previous slide, I mentioned that a whole number has the decimal point to the extreme right. This fact helps us to calculate the above conversions. So for the previous example, which was this one, 5 over 10 equals 0.5, let's look at it again, and let's put in the invisible decimal point. Now, it's not invisible at this point because I've put it in there. But here is the rule which helps us do those first number of examples that we did. Remember those two there plus the ones we did on the previous slide? This is the rule. When dividing by 10, move the decimal point one place to the left. So 5 divided by 10 equals 0.5. Here is the invisible decimal point. When you move it one place to the left, because you're dividing by 10, that's what the rule says. When dividing by 10, move the decimal point one place to the left. So the invisible decimal point was here, so we move it one place to the left, and that's why you get 0.5. 6 over 10 equals 0.6. The decimal point was moved one place to the left. It was here, and we moved it one place to the left there. Remember, that was the rule that I gave you. Let's look at example 5. When dividing by 100, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So for 17 divided by 100, or 17 over 100, the invisible decimal point was here. We have moved it 2 places to the left because we divide by 100, and that's why the answer is 0.17. Example 6, 39 over 100, which is 39 divided by 100. The invisible decimal point was there. We've moved it 2 places to the left, and that's why the answer is 0.39. Example 7, when dividing by 1,000, move the decimal point 3 places to the left. So 237 over 1,000, which is 237 divided by 1,000. The invisible decimal point was there. I have moved it 3 places to the left, and that's why it's 0.237. 439 over 1,000, which is 439 divided by 1,000. The invisible decimal point was there. Move it 3 places to the left because we're dividing by 1,000. So when the decimal point is visible, follow the same rules as above. So for these examples here, so this is now telling us about this one, and this one. And it's saying when the decimal point is visible, follow the same rules as above. So for a number like this, 1.3 divided by 10, see how the decimal point is visible? All we've done is we've moved it from there, 1 place to the left, because we divided by 10, and that's why we have 0.13. 39.7 divided by 100, now we're dividing by 100. The decimal point was there between the 9 and the 7. We moved 2 places to the left because we divided by 100, so the answer is 0.397. And finally, 235.7, there's the decimal point, it's visible, so it was there. I've moved it 3 places to the left, and the answer is 0.2357, because when you divide by 1,000, you move the decimal point 3 places to the left. Now, if you follow those simple rules, you should have no problems with these sums.